Hey everybody, it's Esther L with Urban Asset Protection, and I'm joined with Ericka. And so today, what we're going to be talking about is what are you going to do with this tax refund? You know, every year we get a tax refund and we say, hey, we're going to do something with it, and we turn out not to. So, it is what it is. And then another thing that we're going to talk about, which is I don't think Ericka was really aware of it, but it's type E personality, and how that affects women and what it really is and how it affects our business systems as women. So, okay, Ericka, I'm going to let you take it away and I'm going to mute out. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. I am enjoying Texas's confusing weather. Yesterday we had 30 degrees. The day before that we had 80 degrees. Today we're in between. So I'm enjoying that. Um, so today what we're talking about is what are we going to do with that 2017 tax refund? Again, we get into these positions where every year we say we're going to do better. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to work it out. We're going to do all these things we list off. But if we do not commit ourselves to growing a habit, we'll just keep doing the same thing. Getting lump sums of money, your mind is already played out. I apologize for that, I'm trying to get this extra candy out. Your mind is already programmed what you want to do. Now that you have a lump sum of money, you ever see people who win the lottery? They get a lump sum of money and it's gone in a year or two. That's the same thing that happens with people's tax refund. They look at their neighbor, well, I want a new car. They look at their den, I want a new TV. I need some new clothes. We should go to New Orleans. We should go to the Bahamas. Instead of saying, what could I do to change the projection of my life where I'm waiting on this money? I'm waiting. I remember working in the apartment industry here in Austin, Texas, and people in January would be like, I'm going to be behind my rent. Please don't evict us. We're waiting on our tax return. And in our minds, we'd go, you knew in December rent was due on the 1st. Why did you go out and you buy Christmas? And we look all over the complex, there's Christmas trees filling up the trash can and gifts and wrapping paper. So what did it mean? It meant many of these people spent that money on Christmas, hoping for a lump sum of money in January. It's the same with the tax liens I talk about in interviews with Dre, interviews with Esther. Tax liens in certain states always kick off in December. Why? Because they know people will not pay their taxes. They will go do what is in their head, which is Christmas gifts, holidays, and then they're short. So what happens in January? Now people have purchased your tax lien, and guess what? Now you're in a rush to pay it back with interest. This year, let's be ahead of the game and not behind. Let's not promise ourselves to do another year where we're gonna do right with our taxes. What are some things, if you're watching this channel, you're already taking some steps to improve your life, improve your business, and what you're doing to step forward. You're probably seeking or called me or Esther. We have our links below for consulting. But the key is having a plan, because your mind tells your body and everything else what to do. If your unsubconscious mind and the things you're thinking about are like shoes, clothes, and a trip, it's crazy. I used to work at H&R Block, and I always tell this story because it's so important to show people what they can do with their tax refund. I worked at H&R Block, and for 3 years, you see the same people come in getting $8,000 to $10,000 between them and their husband, or them and their boyfriend and their kids, and they come back every year, and you think, man, they must be having a great year. They almost been ready to lose their car again. They're almost getting ready to get it out of their apartment, and you go, man, you got $8,000. What did you do with that? And of course, it's always, well, my kids need clothes, and I bought extra food. You know, or they bought another car, or they put a down payment for it. Different things happened. I was a woman who had 3 kids. She moved into, and if you're from North Carolina, you know this, Fayetteville, North Carolina, you know this area. She moved into an area across from Westover High School, bought a house for $35,000 with very small, maybe $2,000 of her tax refund, cleaned the house up for a year. Kids, of course, hated it. Next year saw her, she was in the process of buying another home. Bought another home. This one's more $70,000. Was over there by Terry Sanford High School. Then final year, 3rd year, I never saw her again after this. So I'm pretty sure she probably has a better advanced tax, tax system she does. But bought her 3rd house. It was her dream house. It was in the Jack Britt School District. Everybody knows that area. Very nice, $100,000 house. Now you're talking about a woman with 3 kids who went from being unemployed to taking a tax return because she had a new job with an offer letter and closing on a house, and 3 years later having her dream home. How is that possible? Because she just set her mindset first. It's all about the mindset. If she just thought, I just need to make it through this year because I switched jobs and I need a new car, she might never have those other 2 rental properties in her really nice house in the Jack Britt School District. So it's all about mindset. If you're watching these channels, I hope you're thinking about what you could do. Even if it's just you getting a bank certificate this year, you starting a side business, you buying a tax lien, you investing in you. I even used to hear this old Korean guy next door who would talk about he would buy all his meat for the year. And I would think, oh my God, this guy's at PX buying all this meat. No, he would literally go online and buy like salmon and different things from Alaska and bison because he wanted this special stuff. And he was super cool Korean guy. But that just shows you everybody's mindset is different. His was on planning out his meals for the rest of the year. He was gonna have nice meats, what he thought were American meats. And that's important. So don't let another year go by where your mind lets the money flow through your hands. So with that, Esther, go ahead and hit it.
So, okay, Carl, Victorian Estate, has a question for you, Ericka, because I don't know. He said, are we going to go into the difference between tax class 2 and 5? I don't know that answer. I'm going to mute out. You don't know it either? You on mute.
I think he's talking about New York City where they have a property class 2. Ask him if he's in New York City.
Okay. Answer it for all the other people who are in New York.
Okay, so New York City has tax classes, and each pays a different share of property tax in the New York City. Class 2 implies rental buildings, condominiums, okay, and cooperatives. Those co-ops, you know what I'm talking about? And it's different. There's a class property 1. I think Bronx's are usually number 2, number 3 is Brooklyn, number 4 is
right. You're right. He's in New York. I'm a mute.
Okay, right. So I'm not like super deep in depth, but I know that's the basics. And if you go to nyc.gov, they will help you straighten all that out if you need to. They actually put PDFs up there. That's how I learned it for one of my other clients that I'm working with right now.
Okay.
Because you also have another one. If you go to New York City property tax system, and it talks about, it basically calls it a mess, which is kind of funny, but it calls New York a nice mess. It basically talks about tax class 2 is for all other primary residential properties. But that's how you get that whole, how does a 5-story building fall under to class 2? You know what I mean? So that's a whole different video. I'm not even gonna crap you. That's a whole different video. And that'd be a whole different 20-minute conversation.
Okay, well, I feel you. Thanks for educating me on that. You know, I always defer to the accountant, but as far as what, you're welcome, Carl. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Who we got? We got really Brother Ulam, Chad, Raina. You know, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing everybody's names bad. And Pearl Harbor. All right, so anyway, listen, don't make the same mistake twice, right? Because if you really need to think about what you're going to do this year with your tax return, that is going to put you really behind. If like Pearl Harbor, the person in the chat room was saying that most people's things are spent on debt before they receive anything. And I know a lot of people get caught up in those concepts of those tax refund check advance things, and you get caught up in that easy money. And like you were saying too, Ericka, the debt to income ratio, or not the DTI, but you were talking about how you get a one lump sum. So I had a client earlier today, and he was like, well, I wanna go into business. And I said, well, the first thing that I would do is I would get a plan. I would spend the money that it takes to get a small plan, get that together, and then I said I would not invest my inheritance, or if you're coming into any large sum of money, I wouldn't inherit or I wouldn't invest it in a business until 1, I had a plan, and then 2, I would totally borrow against it. So for the tax return that you receive, I would post it up somewhere and use it as leverage for a bigger loan. We live in, first of all, your tax return is based off of the fact that if you had did your W-2 a little bit better, you probably would have had a lower tax rate. And with that lower tax rate, you would not have received so much of a tax refund. So basically, the government has been using your money that you've been paying out of your W-2 paycheck, and they have been investing it. And the investment that the profit of that investment, they're returning back to you in a refund. So if they're giving you a refund of 8,000-9,000, that means they may have made 40 or 50,000 off of your 8 or 9,000. So you want to apply that same concept and go and leverage that for other things. And then two, get a plan together. You know, whether you want to do a car wash, if you want to do a sole proprietor business, or if you want to scale up, like we always talk to. I'm one of those type of women that I look at the big picture. I want to go big. But if your financial blueprint is not that big, what I would do is I would just find something where my money can work for it. I don't know, like I said, if it's a small car wash concept, or if it is a flower shop that you want to open up, or selling flowers on the side of the road, whatever it is, get the plan together. Don't spend all of the money. Utilize it as collateral to go get another loan, even if it's a small $2,000-$3,000 loan. Don't use all of your money, and then make sure that it's going to turn into an asset and not a liability. And then whatever even if you decide to spend half of the money or you don't get a loan, what else you can do is you go get something that's going to make you money, whether you're investing in a nicer laptop, a better camera, a better phone, whatever tools, we're offering business coaching. We have classes that are coming out. I mean, I'm offering 4 hours this month because this month I'm 38. So I'm running a special, for coaching, it's $250 for that month, but you get 4 hours and we go from A to Z. We create a plan. We get, Ericka was talking to me today about how some of her clients didn't even have an LLC. They didn't have an EIN. So she was walking through each and every one of those steps, which is awesome. So let's get a plan together so we're not failing. Because, at the end of the day, my mother, she lost her house. They had a house in North Oakland. It's probably worth like 1.2 million now, but she lost it because she kept refinancing and refinancing and refinancing and refinancing. And I walked in her room and she had heck of clothes from Ross. Like, she had clothes from Ross that still had tags on them. Still, so it clicked on me that that's a mental illness. Go
Dude,
ahead.
Are you for real? You couldn't put the house back? You couldn't save it? It was too late?
You know what, Ericka, at that point,
She didn't tell you?
no, at that point, you grown. You don't want to listen?
Gotcha.
Nigga, you my mama. I'm not yours.
I know. Hey, that's something my grandma used to say. I'm your mama. But here's my deal on that. That area is so wealthy now. It's like if she refinanced and she would have talked to Esther might have put her into some trust, put the money into something else, bought her a house on the other side of town, somewhere cheaper. I mean, it is what it is. That's why we got to ask for help. Ask more, get more. I just had to be like, what? I would sell all that stuff to somewhere else, eBay, Craigslist, but I don't know, whatever you did.
I'm the kind of woman, if you want to act crazy, I'm going to let you be crazy. I don't have time to reel you in, to rope you in. I don't have time for it. That's an asset you lost. You wasn't trying to have me do anything, So my point is, she kept refinancing and she kept refinancing and then she kept refinancing. But look what she was buying. She was buying clothes that ended up in a corner with the tag still on, because at the end of the day, you can only wear one outfit. You can't unless you got some other issues going on, you can only wear one outfit. So, and half of them still had the tags on and she still didn't wear those. So what's my point? You guys, not you guys, but I don't want you guys to fall into that trap. That's the trap of, I'm gonna have this self-gratification. I'm gonna have things that aren't making me any money and actually are putting me further and further into debt, she can take that money and go ahead and build out the kitchen more, or it was a duplex. Refurbish the downstairs. She didn't go ahead and do any of that. It was a self-defeatist attitude, and I don't want you guys to do that with your tax return. I want you to be able to take that money and see down the road. Like I spent $20,000 last year on my education, but you know what? I can see that money. I can see that money. And I was listening to the 4 personality types, right? So we have the shark. The shark likes red, but the shark is the flashy person. They want to see their money. They're coming in with the hottest, latest clothes, nice fabrics, fastest cars, beautiful homes. Then you have the whale. I'm a whale and a shark. But then you have the whale. The whale is like the hippie kind of. They love people. You have the dolphin, and the dolphin is more very laid back and relaxed. And then you have the urchin, and the urchin is your detail oriented person. So all of these personality types, in the sense that I'm a shark, I want to be able to see my money and I want to be able to see it. So I spent it on me, because that's the best way for me to see my money is through education, so that when I talk to you or I talk to my clients, I'm very good at saying it. I'm not blowing smoke up your butt, And so then that brings me back around to type E personality. So the type E personality is very specific. It is the overachieving female. She has her hands in everything. She's there to help everybody. And she's just, oh, let me help you. In the Black culture, we call that superwoman, that superwoman complex, or the Black woman is God, and she's always here to help you. And what happens? She helps everybody but herself. And that's exactly how I ended up getting sick. As I was out there helping everybody, and incidentally, the type E female personality ends up getting sick. And when she gets sick, she changes. And she never goes back to that same concept. And that's exactly what happened to me. And that's exactly why I preach about systems. And I consistently talk about having things in place. And I'm a professional people pleaser. And I was telling somebody the other day, I said, I'm a professional people pleaser, but I please myself first. So that I know I'm satisfied, and that feels good, that when I'm able to help other people, when you call me on a 15-minute consult, I keep it to 15 minutes. I talk about how I can best help you, but I don't want to go on and on and on, and I don't want to give more because it's already a free service. So that's one of the ways, and then I have a system. When you log on, you click on the link and pops the appointment up. You fill out a little short questionnaire and it sends it straight to my calendar on my phone, and I'll call you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not haggling and going back and forth with people. But I have had several people call me today and several people call me yesterday. And I only take 3 appointments a day. It's very short. I have other things to do. But the point is that there's a system. I keep it short. And when I talk to them, like 90% of the people who support me, I always say, are African American females. So when I talk to them about systems, because we have all of these personality types, the 4 that I mentioned, but usually it's either the shark or the whale, whether they're a male or a female, that call me. The urchin calls me, but the urchin, they don't like to deal with me because I get really to the point, and they want to belabor things, and I'm kind of like a fast decision maker. I'm like the shark. I'm like, bam, I don't want to, okay, you want to talk to me for 15 minutes about why we should move forward? That's so irritating, but we all attract other people. So specific personality types come to me, and when they come to me, I'm very, very get straight to the point about how I can assist you. But these personality types make up the world, and I just really want to emphasize that I usually get the type E female who's overwhelmed and overstretched, and we really work on systems, and those systems alleviate time. And time is a very precious commodity. When Ericka and I finish this show today, we can never get this 30 or 45 minutes back. So I'm kind of done with my spiel, Ericka. You got anything else you want to say?
I was going to say, I agree with a lot of that. A lot of the customers we're meeting want to help. I have a couple clients who want to help their family by making more money, right? And in a way, I want to say, well, what can help them is educating them, talking to them about their situation. I think one of them has a mother similar to your situation, where they're taking care of a parent who's retired, but they're still spending money like they're not retired. So a lot of times, when you're talking to people, you have to ask people, I think is a very important question, like, what are you doing right now and what do you want to be doing? A lot of people do not want to get wrapped up into that helping everybody. I have a family that's very interconnected. And so in order for me to have space and balance, I have to sometimes live in Texas. And people laugh about that, but it's the truth. It's like you can easily get wrapped up in taking care of other people over yourself. So in order to help you ever see when they talk about on the plane, if you got small children to the right or left for you and the plane's going down, put the mask on yourself first. You cannot help people unless you're helping yourself. Same thing with some of my clients who are saying, I want to bring some of my wealthier friends. We're all making a lot of money. We should all be able to invest in these properties together. Well, first, you got to help yourself. You got to set the tone and set the marker with yourself. If they choose to work with you afterwards, great, but you can't drag people along. That's like dragging a dead body. I mean, I have a friend who has a wife who doesn't want to work out with him. You know, she likes to walk and do stuff that's easy. He wants to go to the gym, right? And so it's like, he always jokes, I can't drag a dead body with me. So I have to I have to take care of myself first. And if a person chooses to come with, then they do. So that's all I wanted to add to that, Esther.
Yep. So at the end of the day, you can only help yourself. What's the point? Don't squander your tax return. You know, we we got classes coming up for like $47 that can really get you an education. We're offering $250 coaching sessions, 4 hours for the entire month. You can get a lot done in 4 hours. You know, we're offering some things that can put you ahead of the game and just help you to stop playing. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to end up like my mom with a bunch of clothes in the corner and a $1 million house. Now, then it was worth like 700,000, and just nothing to show for it, you know. So I'm good at the end of the day. It's just something that I want everybody to be mindful of. So I don't have anything else to say. What about you, Ericka?
The sun is totally blinding my eyes right now. So I just want to tell everybody, have a great day. If you need to reach us, the links are below. Definitely feel free to purchase a consult and get a talk going. It's the beginning of the year. Decide if you want to kick the year off right, if you want to start your year in the direction you want. And the only way that happens is action. So Esther, take it away.
All right, everybody. You know, it's been real. I'm saying bye, everybody in the chat. Thanks for keeping it with me. I've been texting. It's always fun. And yeah, thanks, Ericka, for all those jewels. Everybody have a safe week, and we'll see you next Thursday. Take care.